speaking of Brazil, you know, I lived in Brazil for almost like 10 months and everything. Yeah. Out of all the countries you've been to, why did you decide to bunker down and live in Brazil after your retirement from the military?
I'll be lying if I said it wasn't the women weren't part of it, because they are. My personal opinion, and I think everybody who's been to Brazil can attest to this, Brazil has the best looking women in the world, in my opinion. Some niggas will argue.
Over Colombia.
Colombia has a lot of plastic surgery, more than Brazil does. Mm-hmm. Would you agree?
I saw a lot of surgery in Brazil, but not as much as I saw in Colombia.
Yeah, so what breaks my heart really is that there's a lot of Colombian women who do not need surgery and they get surgery. Brazil has their own problems too, with the tattoos and shit. Tattoos that tarantulas on your neck, pentagram on your chest, crazy ass tattoos.
Working out too much, in my opinion.
Well, I think
the muscle. I'm talking about the muscle women.
Well,
I don't like that.
That's not
shit.
from working out. That's from taking steroids.
Yeah, but that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I like Brazilian women the best. So that's part of the reason. I love the beach vibe. I like the difficulty of Brazil. So obviously, brothers can go in there, but they can't really dig deep. So what I find really is that a lot of guys, brothers who go to Brazil, they all dealing with the same girls. They don't step out of the Copacabana bubble. And I'm like, Niterói, you got fucking.
I got so many stories to tell you about
North
that.
Zone.
I know dudes that have fallen out over
the local, like
certain types of girls,
like the
same joint.
The
girls at Mavs, basically.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like,
easy to do.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is the same group of girls, and you have a city with millions, and it's just crazy how untapped these other parts are. Mm-hmm. Nobody being Campo Grande like that in the Campo. Nobody being Recreio like that either. So, I like the mystery of Brazil. It is kind of mysterious because of the language barrier. Mm-hmm. I like the fitness culture. This is a big deal for me. This is huge, and I know you guys don't like this, but the time zone is close to the United States Central. Like living in Thailand, that would be one of the biggest issues for me. Is the time zone difference. All my customers are in the United States, so I have to be up late, interacting with people, engaging with people, being involved, being active. So it can become. I guess I could get used to it. Definitely can work around it, but that's a struggle. So I would say this though. I would today I would not buy a property in Brazil.
When you never have a passport, what's your opinion? We have a problem with it on black women as a reason to go over to take advantage of women who are not financially stable. You go over here to find somebody who's going to treat you like a king and all you're in the first part.
Download now on the App Store and Google Play.
Would not do it.
Why not?
Because opportunity cost. I believe I would much rather buy a property in Tokyo, if possible, because in Tokyo you got a lot of foot traffic there. Family, you know what I'm saying? I'm a big amenities guy too. So you mentioned earlier, and I'll buy a property in Thailand before I do in Brazil as well, because I'm an amenities guy, right?
And the thing about Brazil, the infrastructure isn't the best.
Yeah, like, okay, you told me that you can't do 1 day, 2 day rentals. Okay, I can live with that. I paid $200,000 for this property, $250, cool. I can't rent it out. Whoop-de-doo. But I got a hot tub and I got a cold plunge. I got a cinema. I got a Muay Thai boxing gym in this joint. What are we talking about? Underground cafe and all this type of special stuff. So when we talk about, hey, I'm gonna bring my family here. Hey, I'm gonna have a kid here. Hey, if I have a child, you can inherit this property in Thailand. I think that's a lot more powerful than what is offered in Brazil.
You know what? I do notice that like South America in general does have like a unique charm with the kind of like the dated infrastructure. I remember a friend of mine came from Florida to DR, and he was asking me and my friend. He was like, "Man, you like this dusty ass shit?" And I was like, it's a little charm to it. You know, like it's old, it's dated, but you could possibly get used to it at the same time. I'm Atlanta bougie, so I'm in Thailand with a super nice amenity apartment. So
they do.
I understand what you're saying.
So they have some, bro. You didn't see these, but in Ipanema, they're building some new condos that look fly. It's a company called Mozak, M-O-Z-A-K. They're building some fly ass spots in Ipanema and other parts. But even then, it's like, I would much rather get something here. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I would like to have like a little second life backup here. I got a nice condo with a crazy amounts of amenities, and I have an electric vehicle from China. You know what I'm saying? Like a little supercar. You know what I'm saying? BYD joint. So
yeah, I've
you know what I'm saying?
BYDs, yeah.
So we're pulling up. So I like that a lot more. Brazil can make you a lot of money on content creation, by the way.
It really can. It really can.
That's another thing.
Yeah. A lot of guys haven't really just opened up Brazil. Maybe because it's maybe too dangerous. Maybe because it's the language barrier. But I mean, you got the Don Banks guy who kind of opened up, who's on your boat party. We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's like, and the women don't mind being on camera, but it might have been because some of the controversy with Auston out there.
See, we could talk about Auston. It is my personal opinion. He made a mistake, but he didn't really get in real trouble. The worst thing that really happened was he got a stain on his image. But when it comes to the Brazilian police and all that type of stuff, everybody then moved on from that. So it's really only American dudes. Man, you got ran out. It's like, nigga, nobody in Brazil cares. Everybody that moved on. And something that you would know about Brazil is that Brazilians I believe they have the highest engagement on social media than any other group. I'm telling you, bro. Like one of my boys on Instagram, he's a white guy and he speaks Portuguese and he goes around Brazil and gives his perspective. This dude gets like thousands of comments from Brazilians in like 10 minutes, and he only has 400,000 followers on Instagram, bro. And everybody knows they engage. So that's a positive and it's a negative. When you do something they don't like, they're gonna go crazy on the internet, and then that's what happened with Auston, is that they went nuts. And then a couple months later, everybody forgot about it.
Now, do you think it was because of Austin's race?
No.
Being black?
It had nothing to do with that. No, it was just, so the problem was the short form content. Because people will be saying all the time, you're going to get run out of Brazil, Skyler. You keep talking about the pay for play. You keep talking about paying for box, man, you're going to get ran out. They dumb. But what really got him ran out was, ran out. We call it wasn't really a run out, but kind of. It's short form content. If you have a piece of short form content that's inflammatory and it goes viral, that's every guy that gets in trouble in Brazil. It's because of a short form content, not on YouTube, because the Brazilians aren't on YouTube like that, but they're on Instagram and they're on TikTok and they're on Twitter, X. So if you say something stupid in short form and then it goes viral in Brazil, then you're gonna have a problem. But the Brazilians aren't gonna sit and watch me talking on my couch for 20 minutes. They ain't gonna sit there and listen to me talk about how I be folding up on the couch and I be putting them in the headlock and putting them in the tombstone. They don't care. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, okay, we're gonna sit here and listen to this nigga for 20 minutes. Short form content is what that goes viral, is usually what catches guys. Unfortunately, he uploaded the video, went viral, and it got the attention. It's easy to clip, it's easy to download. So you try to take it down, it's too late. You know what I mean?
Now, I remember when I first got to Brazil in 2017, and the vibe was just real loose. You know, the women were very interested in Americans at that time. When I said, hey, I was American, that kind of like, woke them up. A lot of wildness in Brazil. Then I realized when I moved to Brazil in 2022, I felt like it was a difference in the mentality of the woman. So they had like a massive feminist movement from 2017, or I think maybe around 2020, that feminism from America to West started to seep down in Brazil. From you living there, do you like recognize a lot of the same traits from American women to Brazilian women, as far as concerns with the feminism and the modern day women?
So I always say this about the feminist movement in Brazil. This is my opinion. If feminism in the United States is pneumonia, right? Very, very potent, very dangerous. The feminism in Brazil is a cough. It's there, it's present, but it's never gonna, in my opinion, it's never gonna take off in the same way as it is in the United States. Number one, unfortunately, like these, there has been feminists that have been taken out in Brazil. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's a takeout. And I don't agree with it, and it should not resort to violence, but they get taken out, number one. And number two, in order for feminism to thrive, you need to have a finance backing for that, right? So part of the feminist movement in the United States is you got all these women that are making money, right? And then you go back, well, how are they making the money? Where they're going to college? Well, how are they going to college? Because the government is funding their education. You can literally be 18 years old and go $200,000 in debt and go get a degree that's most likely not worth nothing. You can't do that in Brazil. You got to pay cash, or your parents got to sign a loan for $18,000. So you got to have the financial backing. The financial backing gets some crazy. Oh, I got my degree. They rub it in your face, all that type of stuff. It's a lot more difficult. So me personally, right now, in Brazil, with the little ladies that I'm dealing with, I'm not catching the feminist vibe. I'll just say, generally speaking, in Rio, it's a different type of femininity versus an Asian woman. Because a lot of brothers haven't been to Thailand, walking down the street and just getting the exusion of femininity. You're not gonna get this anywhere else, nowhere in Brazil. Not even close.
What's good, family? Make sure to check out the official Passport Bros merch store.